Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Sensei Michael, and of course,
Mr. McCurry. Good morning, Action Karate Jamison. Good morning, Action Karate Chalfant. Good morning, Facebook family.
So if you've been following our post over the couple of days, we've been talking about, we have a super exciting announcement, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. But Mr. McCurry and I, good morning, Mr. Bittner. Mr. Bittner, I'm very jealous that you're watching Mr. McCurry's live video and not my live video.
Good
I know it's a
morning,
little
Mr.
confusing, but that's
Love
okay.
it.
So anyway, Mr. McCurry and I were talking.
I feel like this whole thing should be a competition about who gets the most viewers.
Yeah, I have Miss Sue, I have Miss Andrea.
Miss
I'm
Sue, what are
crushing
you doing on his page? Get back to mine right now.
But
Get
you
over
have somebody
there.
else good.
That's good.
But I'm up to 3, you're up to 2. So okay,
right.
now you're down to 1.
Now-
I'm up
yeah,
to
but
7. I am
Miss Sue's going
murdering
to be
you.
jumping over.
What's
You
up,
wait
Miss
and
Mackenzie?
see.
All right, so anyway,
Anyway.
we're getting to our announcement in a couple of minutes, but Mr. McCurry and I, of course, were golfing this morning, and we're both reading the same book right now, which is all about kind of leadership through the lens of Game of Thrones. And I know you were going to share something anyway today, so we kind of talk about it now. I thought it'd be cool.
You talked yesterday, once again, we're reading this book about ANTS, which stands for
Automatic negative thoughts.
automatic negative thoughts. And I was thinking how most people get sabotaged into things they're trying to do kind of ties right in with that. And with the announcement we're going to have today, the thing that kind of evolved out of it was I noticed that there's this whole support network that makes that not happen, because we automatically go there, like when something doesn't work out, oh, I didn't do it. And if it were anybody else that would be happening to, you'd be like, yeah, but I know that if you do this or this, you can overcome this. But we just kind of lock up in our own automatic thought. So with this announcement today, it's going to be a group thing, and the group just supports each other, and it just makes a huge difference. And that was a big component of success in the past, and even more success with what we're going to talk about in the future.
Yeah, so it's interesting you're talking about kind of like that support network. I was talking to one of our families yesterday about the master's class. And actually, you're going to talk to that gentleman, I think, tomorrow, right?
Yep.
But anyways, I was talking to his wife, and she was talking about one of the great things that she loves about this opportunity for her family is like the natural support network of Action Karate. And she was saying, she's like, I'm sure like when a new school opens, like everybody is trying to help. And I was like, well, of course, we all want Action Karate to be successful together and make a bigger impact together. So, right, the idea of like no man's an island, like, I'm sure Mr. St. John and Mr. Fernandez call you all the time. When
Yes, sir.
the 3 of us with Miss Jackie were away a couple weeks ago, all of our phones were ringing constantly, and it's, we're all always happy to help. What do we got here? Oh, it's up there, Miss Jackie. Hope Nevada's going well.
Good morning, Miss Tammy. She's in Nevada right now?
Well, your real Miss Jackie.
I'm at 7.
Is watching yours.
You're at 10.
Other Miss Jackie is
Oh,
watching
real
mine.
Miss Jackie's on mine?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss
So
Jackie.
You got really like the.
I always knew you loved me more than
That's
him.
right. All right. So anyway, we've been teasing her for a couple days now. I call you guys all the time. Miss Andrea, you call me all the time, and it is always a pleasure. And what I like most, Miss Andrea, is when the conversation's over, you say goodbye to me and thank you, unlike other people that sometimes just hang up the second they're done with their question. You know who I'm talking about, Miss Andrea, not you, sir, somebody
thank
else.
you. Okay.
I'm sure he'll be watching later.
I'm very polite.
Am I real? That's like, Miss Jackie, that's like some soul searching that you have to do, I think, for yourself. But yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. So anyway, do you want to kind of make the... So why don't we talk about... Let's just get right to it.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of talk about the evolution and like why we think like this our new system that we've been talking about for probably 6 months ago.
And here's the scary part, like my evolution is longer than your evolution because
you're
I don't know
older.
whether anybody noticed it or not, but he's
you're-
way younger than me.
You're what, 2.5 times my age? What do you do? What's
Listen,
30
just
times
do the
2.5?
announcement. You're just
So
getting ugly
anyway, so
now.
we're super excited. So, every year we do a couple sessions of HIT Team. And HIT Team, if you're unfamiliar, is high intensity training. And it's really a program designed just to be that. And Mr. McCurry and I both did a winter HIT Team session that we think went really well. And he's going to talk about, when he was kind of talking about the support network, some really great things that came from it. But this was for me kind of like probably the 3rd or 4th time we've done it this way, where HIT Team wasn't just like the physical training, it was also really like the life skill and the personal development and the nutrition and the accountability kind of piece of it. And I thought it went really well for like 18 months. It was really cool.
And by the way, that's the dramatic change in that evolution, was that we've been doing HIT for 20 some years.
super long time, yeah.
But HIT for us back in the day was just intensive martial arts training. And I think the magic that Sensei brought to it was that nutritional, the following a healthy eating plan, the motivation, all that stuff kind of brought it together. And all of a sudden, the changes, instead of just changing ourselves as martial artists, we were changing ourselves as people. Like, people were getting healthier. They were learning how to eat properly. They were dropping enormous amounts of weight and just getting themselves to such a better place. And that was really the magic
of the first kind of evolution
of that
what we
evolution,
call like HIT
right,
Team
no doubt
2.0
about it.
and
Yep.
HIT Team 3.0.
Yep,
And even I thought even for like for the kids to read some kind of personal development book. So we did the Go-Giver, we did Rich Dad Poor Dad, you did the Happiness Advantage, like so many cool things to read as a 7, 8, and 9-year-old, really powerful, right? Talking about healthy eating for them, awesome. So as always though, one of Action Karate's core values is Can I, right? Constant and never-ending improvement. So after this last HIT team session, I was like really thinking about it, like, okay, we've done this a few times now, we've added these amazing components, how do we make it even bigger and better and more impactful for our students and our families? And then it dawned on me, one of the magic pieces of Action Karate is we have so many great instructors and so many great people in our organization, right? And
no doubt about it.
like the Jamison people, they always get to see me. Your team, of course, gets to work with you and your team, but there's not a lot of opportunity for kind of crossover and collaboration.
Although there is a ton of crossover and collaboration behind the scenes, like, your strengths, my strengths, Mr. B's strengths, Miss Jackie's strengths, Mr. Bittner's strengths, anybody throughout our organization, there's that constant referencing back to each other and reaching out to each other. And that's what I think another great thing about Action Karate is that, it's not just me. Like whenever I have a challenge, I'm reaching out to my network and trying to figure out, am I looking at this the right way?
Mr. McCreary, it is like you read my mind, sir. So as Mr. McCreary and I were discussing, right, Mr. McCreary and I have a lot of similar traits, but I think we also complement each other in a lot of great ways, right? And there's a lot of things that I'm good at that Mr. McCreary's working on, and certainly vice versa, where Mr. McCreary really excels, and it's still a challenge for me. So together we were talking and came up with the genius idea, okay, let's make HIT Team even better, even more impactful, make it even better for our students, and come up with what we're calling, because I'm not very creative, and neither is Mr. McCreary apparently, HIT Team 4.0. And I would love somebody in the comments, if you have a better name for this, that would be great. We'd have a little naming.
I wanted to go with Super Hit.
Super Hit Team 4.0. But the idea of it is, Mr. McCreary and I worked a little bit together on the last one. We did some of our coaching calls together. For this time, though, the 4-hour, kickoff class, we're actually going to be doing together. So I'm going to be teaching part of it. Our students are going to get to work with Mr. McCreary for part of it. We're going to be bringing in some other guest instructors for part of it that they don't even know they're on the bill for it, but they totally will be. And I think as far as the physical training piece of it, it's just going to be a super cool opportunity for our students really go to the next level, right? And for us, one of the benefits we have, we get to travel constantly, work with different martial artists from all over the world, and getting those takeaways from different people, is such a cool way to grow.
No doubt about it.
Let's kind of go through. So we're going to make a couple more videos over the next couple of days really explaining the program, but let's go through it kind of fast. So do you want to talk about the 4-hour class and kind of what that entails?
So the 4-hour class is lots of, we did HIT before there was such thing as high intensity training. So when we was doing that 20 years ago, it was just about doing a lot of training in a short period of time in small groups. But now we've actually incorporated what's evolved as this high intensity interval training into the workouts, and that's working out that kind of elevates your heart rate and everything involved so that your metabolism burns for a longer period of time. So it's definitely more effective. And we're going to run you into the ground, then we're going to break and do some martial arts. I'm going to run you into the ground and break and do other things. So that 4 hours is going to kind of be that up and down throughout the whole workout. I assume that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, 100%. So just to be totally on the transparent, that 4 hours is a grueling 4 hours. It's meant to be. Now I think some of the beauty of it, for those of you that watched the Black Belt Challenge a couple weeks ago, it's such a good training tool for what that 4 hours of training at Black Belt Challenge is when you're testing for your black belt, right? So as far as okay, you want to kind of really experience that before you have to do it on June, whenever you're testing for black belt, such a cool experience. So super intense workout. Plus we're going to do 3 months of curriculum in 4 hours. So as far as your dedication and your time commitment to being focused during those 4 hours, we talk about, and we'll have applications next week, but this program certainly isn't right for everybody.
Definitely not.
You need to be able to do, 4 hours, super intense, and then on your own, you're gonna go practice for the next 4 weeks. So the beauty of it, for those that pass the curriculum, complete the program, and then are able to test in 4 weeks, so just because you do it doesn't mean you can test on it, you actually get to double rank in August. So you test for your belt from class, and then you also test for kind of your HIT team belt, so you get to double promote, which is kind of cool. So Miss Dawn, the 4-hour workout is so challenging but so rewarding when you finish it. Yeah, 100%, and especially.
Is that Surfy?
Yeah, Serapis. Yeah, Miss Dawn. Yeah.
Miss Dawn's a rock star. Hello, Miss Dawn. Good morning.
So one of my favorites, so when we did our HIT team session last time, I think last time we had a mother-daughter team do it, which was awesome. And the mom has never trained before ever, watched classes for, 7 years. Since the daughter's been there, but kind of wanted to share it with her daughter. And it was and for her, it was really she just retired and she really wanted to kind of do something for herself and really get it, into a healthy lifestyle now that she's not, working, 60 hours a week as a teacher kind of thing. So it's super cool for her. And then another woman, when Miss Dawn said about, how rewarding it is, she commented afterwards how she's never done anything like that in her entire life, and works out with us, but like a 4-hour boot camp style class like that is a lot out of a lot of people's comfort zones.
6 months later, her results continue.
Miss Dawn.
And her Miss Dawn and her mindset and the way she approaches things, even though I believe she was always a positive person in all the time I've known her, you can see that little bit of a difference, and it's just making a big difference for her. And I think, just to add another thing, so I think that the huge success of Action Karate in regards to health clubs and other options is the accountability. Every day you see your instructor twice a week or 3 times a week, and your instructor's always talking to you and coaching you, and there's that different connection that we make with our students that most typical fitness situations don't. And it's the same thing going to be for this HIT program. Every time our HIT students are coming in, there's that accountability of talking to you, talking to me, talking to Mr. M, talking to Mr. McCarthy, talking to any of those people that are involved in it, that I think makes a huge difference in their success.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So listen, 100% I believe that 4-hour class is worth the investment of HIT team, like just then and there.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, getting to work, and listen, like I'm not trying to be funny, but getting to work with Mr. McCreary and I, we've both been training the martial arts for 25 years. Mr. McCreary is a 6th-degree black belt. I mean, martial arts is our life, and having the opportunity, once again, please don't take this the wrong way, but like working with both of us, I think it's a super cool experience. As far as like our martial arts knowledge, I mean, how much time do you invest just in your martial arts training every week?
I work out a minimum of 30 minutes on martial arts a day, every morning, putting aside all the other stuff that I might do.
And you're training,
right?
Like you also are a full-time martial arts instructor. We have our meetings, like you're constantly learning. There is nobody.
And that doesn't include fitness either.
Totally.
That's my martial arts stuff.
Right, there's nobody more disciplined, I think, when it comes to like his, especially like Mr. McCreary and I travel a lot together as far as his like exercise and his eating. It's like such a cool, role model for our adults doing this program. The accountability. Yeah. So anyway, 4-hour class, totally worth it. Ms. Dawn kind of just mentioned about some of the accountability piece of it, and I think Mr. McCreary's right. That's some of where the magic is. So for our adults, part of it is nutrition coaching, and part of your requirement to complete the program is to log your food every day in MyFitnessPal. And it's a super easy app, but like it's one of those things, like if you think you're going to register and then like not log the food, don't even waste your time. Like we only want people that are gonna really commit, and listen, it's over the summer too. Like you have barbecues, you have like down the shore, you have vacation, but we want people that are committed for those 4 weeks to really doing something transformative. So the food logging is part of it. And I know you added some really cool pieces for accountability.
And let's be honest though about that food logging. You need to give us access to it so we can actually look, and if you're having a challenge, we can look at it. We've had several people that struggled last time, and we were able to look at their fitness log, or look at their nutrition log, see what they were eating, give them suggestions to jumpstart the program and get it moving even more. So it's not just logging it in. You need to open it up to us so we can be there to help you and coach you through it as this evolves and kind of goes through. Super, super important. And the tie-in with that MyFitnessPal is you're also going to connect with all the people that are in your group that are doing that work, because they become your cheerleaders. When you have that negative self-talk because something doesn't go right, and by the way, no matter how hard you work in this 4-week program, there's going to be times that things aren't going to work out perfectly for you. And when you start to have that negative self-talk, that team is going to jump on you and remind you of all the reasons why you shouldn't feel that way, of why all the things you're doing have set you up for future success, and need to connect with it. And that support network through that, when you're all connected, is just absolutely amazing. I totally loved it. I would go to say something and 6 people would say it before me, and I'm like, this is awesome. They're all helping each other out.
Yep. So for the adults, it's going to be your food log. It's going to be following the plan, connecting with your peers in the group. For the kids, so I think for the kids, the biggest piece of it is really just learning to make healthy food choices and being mindful of what they're eating. So for the kids doing the program, it's not really a diet for them because, listen, at their age, they shouldn't be dieting. They should be learning how to make good choices, though. And that's really kind of the focus for them. Like, okay, if my choice is like a fruit roll-up or an actual piece of fruit, we're gonna pick the fruit. If I'm at the pool and my choice is like some Hawaiian punch or water, we're going with water, right? I'm just really being mindful of, okay, let's make some better choices over those 4 weeks. And hopefully, as a family, you're able to kind of really encourage that together and, incorporate that into your routines too. So we have our 4-hour workout, we have the nutrition kind of piece of it and accountability piece of it. The book we're reading this time is something that I read when I was probably, 13 or 14. When was the first time you read How to Win Friends and Influence People?
I actually did read that before I got involved in karate. I'm going to say in my early 20s I read it, and then I reread it probably in my mid-30s, somewhere around there.
So I know for me, like there's a few books that I consider like super influential books in my life. One is Rich Dad Poor Dad, one is Anthony Robbins' Unlimited Power, and then the third one is How to Win Friends and Influence People. So I'm super excited. That's going to be our assigned reading for the 4 weeks. That kids and adults are both reading the same book. For parents that are going to have their kids join the program, certainly, as an adult, written for an adult audience. That being said, I think the concepts are something that anybody can kind of read and understand, and hopefully parents, you also kind of read it with them, so you kind of are on that journey too. But I think for like a 9-year-old to read How to Win Friends and Influence People, like how much that sets them up for success into their teenage years and 20s and 30s is just like so powerful.
So anybody that knows Mr. M and Miss Danielle, I think there's no arguing. They're like incredibly positive people, and they're just fun-loving, easygoing. They just want to help people, and a lot of that is all that influence. They were subjected to it, all those books at a young age and all that. And then me talking about reading it in my 20s, reading it in my 30s, and I'm going to reread it for this event in my...
Yeah, Miss Jackie, real Miss Jackie, as I like to call her now, she just reread the book. That's all. But
that's
Miss Jackie's
thing.
probably read that book a dozen times
Yep.
and just reread it again. It's that good.
But I'm in my 50s now, dare I say it, and I'm a different person. So what that book meant to me in my 20s or 30s is not what it's going to mean to me in my 50s. So it's, that's something, when something's that powerful, as you evolve as a person, revisiting it just gives you a whole new perspective of it, because you see things that you weren't capable. There were things that I was not capable of seeing in my 30s, selfishness and things like that in myself that hadn't evolved yet. I hadn't quite figured it out. So that's, I think, fascinating and great.
Yep, so the class is going to be Saturday, July 20th. It's 4 hours that morning. So as far as like time commitment, we know there's vacations coming up in the summer. You just need to make sure like you're in, the Jamison area Saturday, July 20th, as far as that goes. You're going to starting then, you're going to start your nutrition program. You're going to start reading the book. Each week we're going to do a kind of group call where we discuss what we read that week in the book. So, for me, I think a big piece, I know plenty of people that read tons of self-help books and motivation books, but they just read it, check it off the box, and move on. We know the real secret is reading it and implementation. So okay, you read this. Now what are you doing differently based on that knowledge, right? And I think that's another piece that makes Hit Team so unique, is that it's not just reading. It's okay, what are we actively doing now to make a difference in our lives and those around us, right? There's daily workouts. So, as far as kind of your requirements when you're not at that 4-hour class, you're working out every day, and we have those workouts for you. And I actually have some cool things to add from the last Hit Team to make the workouts a little bit more intense.
Did you tell them they were getting a full menu? So it's going to tell you exactly what to eat.
Oh, for nutrition?
Have to make it
Yep.
up for nutrition. It's here's what you have for breakfast, here's what you have for lunch, here's what you have for dinner. Super easy, all healthy, all good choices, all good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else I'm missing? So we have our daily workouts. You're saying 10.
10 people. That's it. 10 people can sign up.
Are we taking 10 each or 10 total?
I don't know.
All right, here's guys. I mean, the whole idea of this program is it's intimate. Here's what I'd be willing to do. I say we each take 8 people. So
Okay.
it's 16 max is kind of the limit, right?
Got it.
And we're gonna have applications on Monday, but if you want us to send you one earlier than that, you can put in the comments when you watch this video, Hit Team, and Mr. McCreary and I will send it out to you, and you can kind of get a jump start on it. I say we each take 8 and cap it at that.
All right, and also post questions if you're not sure about something, if we didn't clarify something, put it out there so we can reach out to you and give you the information that you need. Any questions, all that.
Miss Jackie approved our 8 each idea.
Oh, thank you.
Miss Jackie, excellent. I assume you'll be there on July 20th. So anyway,
Guest. Ooh, that would be a heck of a guest.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas for some really cool guests for us that I'm pretty excited about that I think will really elevate it for everybody. So anyway, team, so over the next couple of days, you're going to see us talking more about it. Applications will be available on Monday. We're each taking 8 people, so the most that's going to be in that room is 16 that day. And remember, when you're thinking about it, listen, we're taking 8 for a reason, because it's definitely not something that, number one, it's not right for everybody. We want to keep it small. And that being said, we know the only way to grow is to step outside your comfort zone and do something that makes you uncomfortable, right? So if you're already thinking to yourself, 4 hours, this reading, this nutrition, that's not who I am, you're exactly the person that needs to do it, right? The only way you're going to get to that next level is doing something that really pushes you to grow and that's challenging. And I think Miss Dawn said it the best in her comments a few minutes ago, that it's so rewarding when you finish it, but you need to just kind of push yourself to get through it.
So the unfair advantage is you have these young eyes. You can actually read the comments as they're going. I can't read the comments.
Yeah, I've been skipping all the comments that say Sensei Michael's so handsome, that other guy not so much. I don't want to hurt your feelings there, but
I'll go back and check and see how many of them are actually
a
on
lot
there.
of that is coming
Because
through
you know
the
I can
thread.
go back and check that, right?
Yeah, it's only coming in on mine.
Okay, God,
All right, so
that
anyway,
makes sense.
have a great morning, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Have a great morning,
We're both
team.
off to the office now, and we'll be talking more about HIIT the next couple of days. See you guys later.
See ya.